Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share something deeply personal, a story about the moment my world tilted on its axis. It's about trust, emotional affairs, and how something you can physically see can break you just as much as a physical betrayal. My wife, let's call her Sarah, and I had what I thought was a strong marriage. We had our ups and downs, sure, like any couple, but I always believed our foundation was solid. Then, I started noticing small changes. She was always on her phone, smiling at texts from someone she called a work friend. At first, I didn't think much of it. We all have friends, right? But the frequency increased, and she became more secretive, angling her phone away from me, taking calls in another room. A knot of anxiety started forming in my stomach. I'd ask who she was talking to, and she'd brush it off, saying it was just Mark from the office, brainstorming a project. But her explanations felt thin, rehearsed. The laughter she shared with him over the phone was a kind of laughter I hadn't heard from her in a long time. It was a private joy, one that I wasn't a part of. The real turning point came one evening. We were watching a movie, and her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and a wide, unguarded smile spread across her face. It was a look of genuine delight, a look she used to give me. In that split second, I knew. It wasn't just a work friend. This was something more. My heart sank. It felt like I was watching a stranger. I decided I couldn't live with this suspicion anymore. That night, after she fell asleep, I did something I never thought I would do. I looked at her phone. My hands were shaking. There it was. Months of messages. They weren't just talking about work. They were sharing their deepest feelings, their dreams, their frustrations with their lives, and with their spouses. He was her emotional confidant. It'd say, "I miss you," and send heart emojis. He knew more about her day-to-day feelings than I did. Reading those messages was like being stabbed repeatedly. Every "I am thinking of you" and every inside joke was a testament to the bond they had built behind my back. She was giving him the emotional intimacy that was supposed to be ours. She was telling him things she no longer told me. In our own home, right next to me, she had created a separate, secret world with another man. The worst part was a message where she told him, "You're the only one who really gets me." That line broke me. I was her husband. Yet, we had built a life together, shared years of history, and yet, she felt understood by a man she'd known for a few months. It was a profound rejection of me, of us, of everything we had built. The next morning I confronted her. Couldn't even look at her. I just asked, "Who is Mark?" The color drained from her face. She tried to deny it, to minimize it, but I told her I had seen the messages. Then came the tears and the excuses. "It's not what you think," she said. "I never did anything physical." But that was the point she didn't seem to understand. The physical part almost didn't matter. She had given away her heart. She had broken our vows of emotional fidelity. The trust, that invisible, fragile thread that holds a marriage together, was completely severed. I looked at the woman I loved, and I didn't recognize her. The person I thought I knew wouldn't have been capable of this kind of deception. I understood in that moment that an emotional affair can be just as devastating, if not more so, than a physical one. It's a betrayal of the mind and the heart. The trust I had in her, in us, evaporated. It wasn't just damaged, it was gone. And I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that our marriage would never, ever be the same again. Rebuilding from that kind of wreckage feels like an impossible task. It's a quiet, invisible wound, but it's the deepest one I've ever known. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, you're not alone. Please consider liking and subscribing for more real-life stories. See you next time.